Good morning and welcome back to our garden. Like most of you, the weather's been crazy up and down. We've had our first frost and several hard freezes. Now along the side of the house it's more protected, but today we need to take care of our GreenStalk Planters. I want to protect those plants, so come on, let's collect our supplies. Do you see that the fall veggies are just loving this weather and doing great? The kale, the lettuce, the carrots, just everything. Now last night we had a heavy frost, and here on the side of the house where it's more protected, it stayed warmer and it didn't frost, but 26-degree weather is coming and we're going to have more nights below freezing. Some of these plants can live throughout the winter. They'll go dormant, like they're asleep. But this area can get really windy right here. It's like a little wind tunnel. And because these planters are tall, the plants can get damaged. And because I don't water in the winter, I depend on the rain and the snow for the moisture. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Now I use my green stalks in a different way than normally they're used. See how narrow and tall it is here? And there's windows way up there so we can look down. And I want to have plants growing out the top. I don't want to see that water reserve. We also have window ACs because this is an old house. And when they're running in the summer, the condensation drips out, and I catch that water in a hose, and that's how I water the green stalks. City water here is expensive, so I use rainwater or AC water. Now my neighbor's really close, and I want this area to look beautiful for them. This area also gets a lot less sun. So for the winter, I'm going to unstack the green stalks and put them along the ground so they can catch the moisture from the rain and snow and get more sun. And I'm going to protect them with some hoops and some fleece. I'm going to have to open and close them during the day. But I'm also going to put some netting because the squirrels are going to dig in them. Took out the supplies because we need to collect all of these summer decorations. We're going to store them in the garage for winter. The rain, snow, and ice will just destroy them. And a lot of these have some really good memories, and I want them protected. A lot of these we made with the green kids. Next year, Dale will put a new clear coat on them to help protect them. He is very creative. One year he made this for me. That's what he calls this area because the bees just travel back and forth. It's like a bee highway. We're going to move all these shelves in the garage too. Let's go back and unstack the GreenStalk. But first, we haven't yet fed the birds and the squirrels. We love our birds and squirrels. Oops. Now maybe you notice as I took them apart, I don't have those gray water discs that are in between. I don't use those. When I water, I like the water to spread around more evenly. Now if these were set up in the full sun, I definitely would use them the traditional way. But here along the side of the house, they don't dry out real fast. Now I need to trim this creeping Jenny. It's gotten really long this summer, and I don't want it touching the ground over winter because I feel like that area will freeze. I will make sure that I compost the trimmings. See, the AC has these blue tubes. That's how we save the water in the summer. It's not running right now. We're going to take him out really soon. But last week, it was almost 80 degrees. Unbelievable. Now, the creeping Jenny can survive the winter, but it's a little more fragile. So I kind of scooch it around to the inside. The base is on the wheel. I'm going to put that first because it's a little bit taller. So the hoops, I think, will just kind of fit better having a taller one first and last. Rain barrel's still full. It's not even connected to the roof. It's just filled up naturally by the rain. I want to empty it out because I need to move it. It's blocking the planters. And if I scooted it out in front of it, we wouldn't be able to get the trash and the recycling through. Yeah, I can see now we're going to need this space. So I'm going to have to move all this furniture. I was hoping I wasn't going to have to move it today, but oh well. Let's collect all this debris. Let's check on the water. Now the water's running so slow because the spigot that it comes with, I've never replaced. This one is like a twisting action, and it's better to replace it with like a lever. It gives you more pressure. I never did change that one. I've got other rain barrels at the back, and I switched out all those spigots. I'll put a link for the better one there. Let's go ahead and water some of these planters. I've got 2 more green stalks to trim. Now these aren't going to grow in the winter, but next summer, spring and summer, they're going to really take off again. Now what else are we growing in the green stalks? Well, they all have strawberries. And all of these too. Now this summer, the strawberries out in the back garden were really suffering, so I transplanted a bunch of them into the green stalks in August. We also have pansies all along here. And in all of these tiers. We also have herbs. That's all Greek oregano, my favorite. Now here we have rosemary, but it's a special kind. It's a trailing rosemary. Just have 1, but in the spring I'm going to order 3 more, so we have 4 altogether. Each level will have one. So there's the rosemary, and we need some there, there, and there. And here's the thyme. If you noticed, I like to plant my green stalks on a spiral, a diagonal. I don't like the look when you plant the same things in each tier. I like it to have more of a flowing look, down and cascading around. That's my style. Now the last one here is sage, and it's going to get big and totally take over this level. So I keep it trimmed. I don't need 4 sages, so next year I've got 3 empty pockets, and I'm just going to pick a variety of herbs to put in there. So I measured where I'm going to put the planters after the water barrel's moved. So let's go ahead and work on the last 4, then we can go back and work on the middle. But first we need to move all this stuff. It's going to be 10 o'clock soon, and living here in downtown for Veterans Day, they do something called relay taps. I think that's what it's called, relay. They're going to start taps in one location, and then they're going to just kind of leapfrog. And if we can hear it here, I'll record it for you. We won't be able to see it, but maybe we can hear it. Two of those levels were very dry, so one benefit of unstacking them is they'll have better access to the rain. Now I do hear the church bells. I don't think you can hear it, but I can. Now the rain barrel's almost empty, so I'm going to go ahead and sweep more, and I'll check back with you soon. Now here is a bird's nest. The cardinals for 2 years in a row in this area have built a nest for their second hatching of eggs. They tend to have 2 or 3 chicks. It's been really cute. And this just fell down naturally. They won't reuse the nest. They're going to build a new one every year. I think the water barrel's light enough now that I can move it. So let's give it a try. I am going to move these cinder blocks. I don't really want them pressing against the wall, but I'll put them close to the wall. There's no reason to put them in the garage because we're going to use them again next year. But I definitely want to use my gloves. I have to play with it, make sure we can get the trash and the recycling through and not trip. Now let's lay on the fleece and get it easier and ready to put over tonight. Now that one wasn't long enough. It's a different size than the netting. So let's go get a second one. Now I secured the ends with a zip tie. And weight it down with a sandbag. That's perfect. Double protection, that'll be okay. Now these sandbags are filled with broken bricks. And we're gonna weight it down behind on top of the fleece. I did have to move the cinder block so I could walk through there. Okay, it's lunchtime. And when I come back, then I'll clean up all the other stuff. Now check back for an update on how this is doing. Check our shorts or our Facebook and Instagram reel. That's where I'll post the update. Thank you for visiting our garden. See you later. Bye-bye.